Welcome to The Owner's Exit, the podcast where business owners learn to plan smarter, exit stronger, and move forward with confidence. In each episode, you'll hear from industry experts, seasoned entrepreneurs, and owners who've successfully navigated their exit. Together, we'll unpack the real stories and proven strategies beyond smooth, successful transitions, and share practical advice for your own exit planning journey. So if you're a founder, entrepreneur, or business owner thinking about what's next, you're in the right place. This is the Owner's Exit Podcast, where we help owners see to, through, and beyond the sale of their business. So Gordon Almand.
Yes, sir.
Waste away dumpster service.
Yes, sir.
Huntsville, Alabama. Mm-hmm. We're honored to have you on.
Thank you for the invitation.
Former nice vet. We're real excited. Recently exited your business.
Yes, sir.
And so we're excited to unpack your story and hear more about what it looks like to be in the trash business. So.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
You've told us a little bit before we started recording, but go back to after you left the military, after you left the Marines, you started working in service stations. How did that lead you to starting Waste Away?
No, you got it backwards.
All right.
I grew up in the service station business.
Okay.
As a kid.
Okay.
Then I went to the military.
Okay.
Because your father owned.
That my father owned.
Your father.
My father had Texaco stations.
Okay.
That's what he had.
Yeah.
He had a bulk plant.
Yeah.
And several stations at one time.
Okay.
So that's where in Lake County, Florida, actually started there was no wrecker service in 1954. My father started their towing service in 1954, and it's a multi-million-dollar industry today because my brother has it.
Wow.
My father gave him half the business because he worked for him the longest, which I had no problem with. You work for my dad that long, you deserve half. He was a hard man, but he's got 6 kids and ain't none of us in prison. So they must have done something right.
Yeah.
And my brother's gotten out of the service station end of it. They got out of the gasoline part because it was a headache. Many years ago, got out of the gasoline part and has built the towing and wrecker service to where they're about the only game in town. I mean, they're in Lake County, Florida, and they have it all. They have every kind of towing piece of equipment you can possibly imagine.
A monopoly on the area.
Well, it's tough to beat them.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, I mean, we're a household name.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, you have one of the largest families in Eustis, Florida, the town we grew up in. We had one of the largest families and 5 sons in a row. We all played sports. You know, everybody knew us. You know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. So you got out of the Marines. Between that and when you started Waste Away, tell us a little bit about that time.
Hitched a ride to Maxwell Air Force Base because my brother lived in Montgomery, Alabama. Had a brother living in Montgomery at the time. And I went there and I applied for a job at a company called Expert Tune and started off as assistant manager. And like I said, was there 16 years. And the last 7 years I was there, I was president of the company.
So after that, what caused you to leave? What caused
me to leave there was the owner got way too comfortable.
Okay. You were doing a lot of the work.
I was doing what I was getting paid for.
Yeah.
But he got arrogant. He got very. He said to me one day, he wanted me to do something. I said, I got to change that. And he goes, "You don't want to be with this company anymore, do you?" I said, "What?" He goes, "I don't think you care about this company anymore." Well, he's totally running it in the ground. You're saying that to me, and I'm having to pay my vendors cash because you ain't got enough money in the bank because you're spending it too fast?
The red flag. Yeah.
So I said, hey.
You want to do something different?
I said, here's the deal. I said, I'll give you 30 days notice. I'll give you 60 because I've been here 16 years. I'm not going to train a replacement. That's going to be your deal. And I said, at whatever agreement, I said, I'm vested and you owe me this amount of money and don't pencil me for $1. If you do, call your brother and ask him. That will not go over with me very well. I've always done everything you've asked. You pay me what you owe me. Because he's bad about penciling. I was always having to go back and fix stuff for managers because he was penciling money out of people, and you just can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, so I said, just make sure you don't pencil me. You know?
Yeah.
So,
Showed that up for
and
us.
He didn't.
So you moved on from there.
Went there and then went to Little Rock for 14 months.
Yep.
And then went back and then went to Huntsville and went back into business with my old boss, the owner's brother of Expert Tune. He used to be president. I took over his job when he left.
Okay.
And then we were together 4 or 5 years, and he didn't keep his word on anything he said. So that's when I decided to go into buy me a Golf USA franchise. And then my investor there, things didn't work out and didn't want to borrow the money from the bank. So I'm standing in a buddy of mine's kitchen one morning, and as he's coming back in from running a garbage route, I said, "You got a CDL license. While I got some money left, let's go get us a truck and get us 50 dumpsters and let me do what I do best."
Yeah.
And
Which is build businesses, right?
build businesses. I increased Precision Tunes in 14 months. I increased their sales by 22%. Okay. I came to Huntsville. He had 2 little stores, 18%. So
And that's without opening additional locations.
exactly,
Right.
not even opening an additional store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, anytime you got double-digit growth, you need to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Well, things didn't work out. He got comfortable also. So then I try the Golf USA franchise, and then I go back to the I said my buddy, when then we went and bought a truck and 50 dumpsters, and 20 years later I had 38 trucks and 5,000 dumpsters.
Yeah. Just snowballed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So did either of you have? He had experience in.
he had bought a rural garbage route from a family that's friends of his family's for years.
Okay.
They sold him their worst route. He overpaid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had a CDL license, and so I said, let's try this. I said, if I can get 100 dumpsters on the ground within a year, averaging $80 a month, that's $8,000 a month, we'll make it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, I went almost 4 years without a paycheck also,
Yeah.
okay, which is not easy to do, but I did. And let's be clear, if it wasn't for Jesus Christ or my wife, it would have never happened,
Yeah.
period. Those are the 2 things that I would attribute to.
Yeah.
Period.
I would think we'd
would not
agree.
be here
Yeah.
either way without would
think
be
we'd
here either
agree.
way without either one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anybody that's going to try to be an entrepreneur and go start something and take something and start from zero, have your better half, whatever it is, on your team, because it helps a bunch.
Yeah.
It really does. I mean, she backed me up.
Was she working at the time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. She
had
was,
to.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She was the head paralegal for the largest law firm for the medical department of Lanier, Ford, Shaver, and Payne for 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the biggest pay cut I ever took. Also, was her coming home.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't want our kids to go to after school daycare.
Right.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like my mom was. You know, I didn't really want to miss that money, but
Yeah.
I wanted her
That's
to be home.
that's a balance.
You know,
Yeah,
I wanted
sure.
her to be home. She's an English major. Who can help her with the homework? I take care of the math part. She's got the rest.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, and
So when you started Waste Away, did you have children at that point in time as
No.
well? Okay.
oh, well, she got pregnant first 6 months.
Okay.
I got
Oh.
blamed for it, but she got pregnant. Yeah, so for the first 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Well,
good.
about 6, we were planning on it.
Yeah.
About 6 months earlier than what we were working on, but so, you know, and then a year and a half later had another one. I have 2 girls, and
Still haven't taken a paycheck, and you have two
I have
girls.
2. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
And I haven't had a paycheck. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
She doesn't know to this day how close we were to being broke before I took my first paycheck. And when you don't call my first paycheck really a paycheck, it was $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
That's what I was paying myself when we first started paying ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's $24,000 a year.
Yeah.
Is what I was meant. Well, don't get me wrong, it got past that pretty good. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had 2 kids, and I didn't have, you know, we were working. I almost went and took a job at night because I was in my 40s. I was going to load Coca-Cola trucks at night.
Just to
And
make
just
ends
supplement
meet.
income.
just to be comfortable. Thank God I didn't have to, because I got up at midnight because we couldn't afford a delivery truck. Okay, so the day prior, I would have to load what I sold on a trailer, and you have 2-yard dumpsters, 4 yards, 6 yard, and 8 yards. Okay, I could push a 4-yard off by myself back then, off a trailer, walk it off. A 6 yard, I had to have a 2x4. to walk it off. I could almost pick up a 2-yard back then. So, but at night, if I sold 8 yards, which was the majority of everything, I'd have to have the trailer loaded, ready to go, and meet him while he drove the route. And he started at 2 o'clock in the morning. There's a reason you do, because you want to drive a garbage truck around a city that has no cars.
Right.
Empty parking lots. That's why we started.
And he's the one that had the CDL. So
he's the one that had CDL.
The truck.
Yeah.
I drove. I drove the route for a little while without a CDL. Believe me.
Oh boy.
That happened.
You had to do what you got to do.
I had to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Without a paycheck, you're like, okay, I got to do this.
So I'd get up and I'd go meet him, and then at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm answering the phone and taking calls and doing sales and customer service till 5 or 6 or 7. We were 14 years old before I stopped answering the phone after 5 o'clock.
Wow.
Now, but all my customers knew about it. If you left me a message, I would call you back. If you don't leave me a message after 5, I'm not going to call you. But if they did, I called them back no matter what time it was. And there'd be afternoons. So if I was standing still in my office, which was in my house, I'd be out. I'd be standing up, sleeping.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
And then we were going to invest in some more. Was looking at getting 2 more trucks. I said, yeah, one of them's going to be a delivery truck. Is what that's going to be.
Yeah.
I'll go put them out during the day.
Sure.
But back to the 100 dumpsters out at $80 a month, averaging 8,000. If I got that done in 12 months, we would make it. Like I said,
Yeah.
after running the numbers, what I looked at, because we're not taking a paycheck yet. But I had 214 dumpsters out, averaging $128 a month in 13 months.
So how did you do that? That's what we want to know is how you meet those expectations.
If you want to answer your phone, be professional. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
And do what you say.
Do what you say, when you say, how you say, and don't deviate from it. If you can't do what you say, when you say, how you say, call them immediately. Go see them if you got to. But that's what I learned from my father, was do what you say, when you say, how you say, and you'll take care of anything. And Jesus will take care of everything else.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
When you started, what was the competition like in the Huntsville market?
There was Waste Management and Republic. Okay.
Yeah, 2 big companies.
2 big companies that people were sick of. Get in a contract, and that's how we started. I said, we can do business on a handshake. We just shake hands. I said, I'm real simple. You pay that bill every month, I'm going to empty that garbage in your dumpster when I'm supposed to. It's that simple. And answering the phone and being personable with people and doing what you say and go the extra mile. We made a niche for apartment complexes. You can't put furniture in a dumpster. You can a roll-off, a construction dumpster, but not a front-load can. A front-load dumpster that sits outside these buildings, these pens, are designed for bagged garbage only. Now, does everybody throw everything in the kitchen sinks in them every day? Yes. All the time, especially apartment complexes.
Yeah.
So I went to all of them and said, here's what we're going to do. Leave your furniture sitting out and call me when you got 2 or 3 pieces, and I'm going to send some people to pick it up and haul it off to the dump for you. Instead of you paying $450 for a roll-off, I'm going to charge you $150 to $250 depending on how much is there. Skyrocket.
Yeah.
And my dumpsters, because the driver, if you stuck furniture in that dumpster,
he doesn't
know it. He doesn't know it.
Oh.
It won't empty out. It'll trap the garbage, and then you think I didn't do my job.
Right.
Yeah.
So thank God for GPSs and cameras.
Yeah.
That's a fact, because we had a GPS system, and in the last 5 years was the easiest for me, because I just called the guy that I've hired to run that department. What time was he there? Where are my pictures? They say we didn't empty it. Got them right here. Where do you want them? Where do you want me to send them? We had a GPS system that tells you what time. It'll tell me what time you pulled off my property, tell me how fast you drove, would tell me if you ran a stop sign or not, would tell you if there's any hard braking, like you're going too fast, and would tell me what time you pulled on the customer's property and if you lifted the dumpster off the ground or not.
Wow.
Don't you love technology now?
We got to love accountability.
Yes.
So you guys began to scale pretty quickly there, and you had obviously been in businesses before that you were helping manage. Talk to us a little bit about that growth and how you went around hiring people and a little bit about that time. Because that was what, 2008, 2009? Okay.
Well, let me see. From 2006, it took us a year to get the truck and the dumpsters together after we got the business license. Okay. So, I was going around, salespeople. I call it rattling the bushes and shaking the trees.
Right.
I was calling on people, going and seeing people I knew, going and see people I didn't know. If I saw a dumpster overflowing on a piece of property, I'd stop in and go, hey, what's the problem? Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. Nobody told me what to do. One thing I learned about the garbage business is garbage never stops. Yeah. It don't matter what day it is. It doesn't matter what the weather is. Garbage
what the
never
economy's
stops.
doing.
Yes,
right.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, we survived COVID. The biggest hit we took was the restaurants.
Yep.
Because those are, the more times I show up, the more money I can charge you.
Right.
And when you're 4 times a week, your bill's 5 times as much. But when the COVID hit, we picked up 1 time a week. So yeah, our bottom line, our money went down, but not really, because we weren't going the other 3 or 4 times. We were still getting enough for the first time to go, for weekly service instead of twice a week or 3 times or 4 times, because most restaurants are 3 to 6 times a week.
Sure.
But when the COVID hit, I had a customer that I picked his garbage up for 6 months and didn't charge him because he had a buffet. You couldn't eat at his restaurant anymore. You could come in, they'd fix your plate, and you leave. So his garbage went down, and he was twice a week. I picked his garbage up for 6 months. For once a week, it didn't charge him a dime. That is just nothing but good karma.
Right.
He had a struggling business, and he's got one of the best restaurants in town today because of it.
Yeah. I love that. And somebody like Republic or Waste Management with their
they didn't.
structures, they couldn't.
And I got customers because of that.
I'm sure.
They went up on people. Mm-hmm. The big guys, they went up on people during COVID. And that's the thing. We had never had a price increase because I felt I was getting a fair market value for what I was selling. Now, when the last president got elected, my fuel went up 400%. My fuel bill went up $24,000 a month.
Oh my goodness.
Inside of 60 days.
Huh.
Wow.
I'm a pretty good salesperson, but I can't sell $24,000 worth of garbage in 1 month to keep up for it. So what do? You take the hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we have to take less money? Maybe from time to time. But
so you didn't raise your prices the whole time?
The whole time.
You kept the same prices from
the last 2 years I was there. We started having price increases. I wasn't going to add insult to injury during COVID.
Yeah.
So we were fixing to go up. We were putting everything in place to have we were going to have about an 8 to 12% increase,
right?
Which nobody would have had a problem with.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to do it during COVID.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, and I think I reaped more benefit from not doing it.
Yeah.
Than
goodwill. Sure.
Yeah. Because another garbage company come in town and said that Waste Away is doing business on a handshake. They don't have any contracts. We're going to put them out of business. So they got a billionaire and a couple millionaires to put up $7 million, which I didn't have that. But $7 million, they went and bought all their trucks, bought all their dumpsters. And I remember hearing a story about the billionaire going, hey, it's been over a year. I thought we was going to put Waste Away out of business. He goes, well, man, they got some real loyal customers. Mm-hmm. And that billionaire goes, maybe we ought to try that. And they were out of business 4 years after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
how did you, when they were coming in town, what did you?
They are in town.
Oh, they are in town.
These were people that were from there.
Yeah.
Just like we were.
Oh, okay.
But you can't.
You felt pretty comfortable with your clientele.
If you get everything on price, you're going to lose everything on price.
Right.
It's that simple.
Yeah. That's really good.
I had people come in and they would say, well, they're going to do it for this. I think that's great. Mm-hmm. I said, but this is what I've been doing it for you for. And I've been more than fair. If you have any service problems. Oh, I was just telling you, Gordon, I'm not leaving you. I'm not going nowhere. I was just telling you that's what they came and offered.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, if I could do it for that, I would.
Sure.
But I can't. This is what I got to have.
Yeah.
And if you tell people the truth and they know that you're telling them the truth, they have no problems.
Yeah.
Honesty,
do what you say, mean what you say, follow through.
And my father used to say, I'm always going to do the right thing, especially if you let me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're building, when you're ramping up the business, were you thinking about an end? Did you have an end in mind, or were
I'd still be doing it today.
okay?
I would have loved to have done this 3 or 4 more years.
Yeah,
My youngest one is starting Alabama. My oldest one is their second year in Troy. I got 2 daughters in college.
yeah,
I would have loved to have done this for 3 or 4 more years. To be honest with you, employees and everybody that's going to hear this that's in business, that has a business for themselves, are going to go, amen. But employees, and the conflict I had with the partner, which is irrelevant to talk about because it's over and done with, but employees and the offer that they made me, I would have been stupid. And we negotiated one time. We went back and forth one time. He made an offer, and I said, well, this is what I got to have. And he said, okay.
Yeah.
Because I said to myself, if I could take the amount of money that I get after taxes and give it to my good friend at Raymond James and get 5% of it, whether he averages 10%, 7%, 14% a year, if I could get 5% of that and reinvest, if I made 10% that year, reinvest the other 5%, keep it with Raymond James, then I would sell the company. If I could get 5%, because that would pay me what I'm used to making now.
yeah.
And that's what happened.
So did you seek out a buyer? Did
Oh,
they
no.
come?
Oh,
Okay.
no.
How did that help?
Republic Waste Management beating down the door for years.
Okay.
Beating down the door for years. And I said I would never sell it to a publicly, I wouldn't sell it to them because the way they treated people is what made my niche. And I didn't want people going back because I know a lot of these. I mean, I became
Friends,
good associates and friends with a lot
You're
of
going to
people.
see them on the golf course.
I mean, I have a lot of buddies. I have a
of.
lot of buddies of mine that are big property managers that's got all kind of commercial property all over Huntsville.
relied
They're
on you.
mad at me.
Yeah.
No, you're not leaving. You're not going nowhere. You can't leave.
Yeah.
They said, they're the best garbage company we've ever had. I said, well, I appreciate that, but it looks like it's time. And I was going to tell you, but no, that if I could make, like I said, if I could make that kind of money, I would. That's why I did it. It was the offer, and
So you had a number in mind, and if that ever came by, you would.
But you asked me how they got these people beat down my door for 2 years.
Okay.
Okay, I watched them though. See, Etowah County, Alabama, Etowah County.
Is that next to?
It's an hour south of us, out south of Huntsville. They got a landfill re-permitted. It never legally closed. All they had to do was test the water on it. The water wasn't contaminated. They got it re-permitted. Okay? So when they did that, the company that bought us bought that landfill. And the company that bought us was coming to Huntsville no matter what.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be there. I'm at the age I didn't want to fight off another garbage company.
Sure.
Yeah.
And fighting off another garbage company makes it tough to raise your prices.
Right.
So I fought the last one off. I just didn't, and there's another one that's popping up, but that other one's not going to make it. But that's another whole avenue. But still, the people that bought us, Meridian Waste, they're a couple of garbage guys that built their own companies.
Is that Meridian, Mississippi? Is that where that comes from?
They've got Meridian, Mississippi. They're in Florida. They're in North Carolina, and now they're in Alabama.
Okay.
These are 2 guys that built their garbage companies way past what I got for mine. See, I was only in 2 counties.
Right.
These guys, their garbage companies was in 3 states or 4 states.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I was only in 2 counties. So, when they sold their garbage companies, you're talking $100 million. Well, they can't go back for 2 years or 5 years to non-compete, so they went to other locations and started up garbage companies and built it to where they were coming. They were going to come to Huntsville. So we sat down and talked and went back and forth one time on the price. And I said, well, this is what I got to have.
Yeah.
And they said, okay.
At the point in time when you went to sell this year, what did your management team look like? Were you running most of the operations? Did you have a team in place that you felt good about?
Okay.
Or
as good as I could feel.
Yeah.
Okay. Because see, you got to understand this. In today's times in this country, if you have a CDL license and you don't have a job, for lack of a better word, you're pretty much a piece of crap. So
There's opportunity.
Plenty of
everywhere.
opportunity.
Oh, excuse me. Nobody should be begging for food or money under a bridge. Okay, you can go within 500 yards from where you're begging from and get a job if you want to work. That's just my take on it. But yeah, I put up with that. Drivers, they're just, it takes a certain person to get up and go to work at 2:00 in the morning every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I did it. It's not something that I enjoyed, but once you get used to it, it's nothing.
Yeah, becomes habitual. Sure.
It's just how it is. So, but a lot of people don't get used to it. They think they do, but they don't.
Yeah.
So, but just the way, just people, employees anymore, it's not like when we grew up or when I grew up.
Sure.
My father fired me 9 times for being late. I've never been late for anybody in my life since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No joke.
Sure.
I remember one time of going to work for my dad. I come pulling in the parking lot. My dad was left-handed, but he wore his watch on his left hand, but he wore it upside down because he wrote upside down. So when he did tickets, he had his date and time for the tickets that he had to do. And I come out to get out of the car, and I come walking up, and there he is. He's standing looking at the watch. He's looking at me, and I get one step past him. He goes, "Hey, where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to work." He said, "Where?" He said, "It's 8:01. We start work around here at 8:00 or before. You have a nice day and get off my property." That's learning.
Yeah.
I'm tough love, whatever you want to call it. If it wasn't for him, I don't think I'd be half where I'm at. He taught me customer service. Now, he said I was one of the best salespeople he'd ever seen, but I am pretty good at sales. But there again, I do what I say, when I say, how I say.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's great. That's great. So let's see. When you were thinking, who were some of the people that you reached out when you finally got that offer? Who did you talk to? Professionals, accountants, attorneys?
Barry and my CPA.
Barry and your CPA. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was that experience?
I have a very wealthy person in my background.
Yeah.
That's a billionaire.
Yeah.
We talked about a lot of things too.
Okay.
So
describe some of those conversations that you were going through. Like, talk about that.
As far as investing the money?
Not necessarily investing, but just like, hey, I've got this offer. I'm considering it. What do you think? Describe.
I didn't really have to do any of that.
Yeah.
Because back to where I was, if I could live off of 5%
Yeah.
of what it would make me
Yeah.
and still add money back to the investment,
Yeah.
that's what I was going to do.
That's what you were going.
You
Okay.
know, like I say, I would have loved to have done it 2 or 3 more years with the girls finally going to school, but that offer wasn't coming around again.
Yeah.
That was not coming around.
Right.
You know, they overpaid, but they knew they were going to.
Yeah.
They're going to have to get into that market.
Right.
See, because they're going to feed that landfill that they bought in Etowah County. They're going to get a transfer station somewhere between Huntsville and Albertville or Boas.
Okay.
That's where it's at.
Yeah.
They're going to get a transfer station to where they're not going into the landfill anymore. They're going to go to a transfer station and transport the garbage to their landfill. See, because they can charge what they want and they can delete what they want.
Yeah.
My biggest bill was emptying the garbage trucks. And it was over $150,000, $160,000 a month.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you can cut that in half and feed your own landfill, these guys know what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So overpaying
we call those strategic buyers. And
Yes.
Statistically, strategic buyers end up paying significantly more than what any other offer would be, whether it be a competitor, just like an entrepreneur that's wanting to come in.
Private equity.
private equity
firm.
firms, that's what they.
Yeah.
They, like I say, and I think we both hit the number
Yeah.
that they were going to pay. You know, because I said, when I negotiate, I just said, I'm sorry. If it's not worth this to you, I understand.
Yeah.
But this is what it's worth to me. This is what I got to have.
Right.
You let me know how much time you want to think about it and if we're going to do business or not. And he said, sold, is what he said.
Now, to get to that number, did you just do that math you were talking about earlier about how much you needed?
I've been doing that math for the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay. So,
and calling him once a month.
Yeah.
I was.
Was it valuing the business through revenue or earnings or any of that stuff?
Okay. You know what EBITDA is.
Right.
Y'all do. Okay. 7 times. Okay. But my profit margin was almost 40%. Okay. I mean, no, my profit margin was almost 60%.
Oh, okay.
Because my overhead was 39.
Wow. Okay.
That's why I got what I wanted also. Is because just about everything I had was paid for.
Yeah.
And see, and we only owed $1 million when we sold. The only reason we did that is because 2 years before that, I bought another garbage company. There was a garbage company in Morgan County.
Okay. That's how you got into the second county.
Yes. I bought him. Well, no. I hired a sales lady that had been in the garbage business all her life. I sent her to Morgan County and said, I'm going to cast you out amongst the wolves here because I'm going to put you in a market you've never seen. Now, she's been in the garbage business all her life. She goes, I'm going to find that hard to believe that you're going to put me in a market I've never seen. I said, I understand. 2 weeks later, she goes, you're exactly right. I've never seen that before. I said, I told you. And she put our footprint over there, got us stamped in to Morgan County, and then I bought the only competitor over there. And
talk about that process, finding.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, first it was called Blue Sanitation, but the original name was Blue. That was the man's name that owned it. Seth Blue, great guy. Just had to get out, got old.
Yeah.
And I talked to him 2 years, 3 years. When I talked to him about buying it, I know 2 years went by and he sold it to someone else because I didn't see what he wanted for it to be worth it to me. In other words, I said, just tell me your profit. Just tell me your profit and tell me what you want. And if your profit to me, I was saying this to myself, if your profit will make the payment on the money I got to borrow, sold.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he ended up selling to somebody else. And they came, and I went to them, and I said, you don't really want to do this anymore, okay, because I'm hearing a lot of stuff. I said, so just tell me what you want, and let's go from there. And he said, I got to have $1.5 million. I said, I understand that, and I appreciate it. And I said, let me know if that ever changes because I can't do that, and I won't do that. But I appreciate your time. Lunch is on me. I got in the truck, pulled out of the parking lot. Before I got out of the parking lot, he called me and goes, what would you pay me? I said, I'll give you $900,000 for it today. He said, sold. I'll write you a check this afternoon if you're going to have it. And then so we took over that, got that transition through.
Talk about that process, changing over their systems.
That's a pain.
Yep.
All the billing process, make sure everything's correct. You got to do audits. I got to go out and count the cans.
Yeah.
I got to make sure every customer you sell this piece of paper's got a can.
Yep.
And then I got to turn around and make sure that they're paying for the service that's on this piece of paper. And then I got to make sure the service on this piece of paper is the right service you're giving them. So it took a year to get all the.
Was it easier? Did you find it? Was it easier to go and try to turn that business into or pull it into your ecosystem, or is it easier to start from scratch?
Oh no, you don't ever want to start anything with this kind of overhead from scratch if you can help it.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah,
you just don't want to do anything with this kind of overhead.
Yeah,
we were fortunate. Okay,
yeah.
It was all timing.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah,
the first year we're in business, Alabama's in the middle of a drought. Best thing could ever happen to us.
Yeah,
because when it rains for 2 weeks out of every month, my dump bill would go up $10,000 without picking up any extra trash, just because of the water weight.
Yeah.
Have that happen to you when you don't have the money.
Yeah.
You're awake now.
Right.
Yeah.
So, because when it went up $4,000 for no reason, I saw the bill. I said, something's wrong. The first time that happened, I went, something's not right here. And I went to the landfill. I said, y'all have got to have something off. I said, Gordon, it's rained for 14 days this month. Well, that is true.
Yeah.
I was here. So, but the transition of selling this one was even, okay, for the last 2 years, and I probably should have done it earlier, but for the last 2 years we were in business, I didn't answer the phone anymore. For 16, 18 years, I answered the phone every day. I'm the one you talk to. And then it got to where I was getting 40 to 60 calls a day. And back to me being type A, stuff started slipping through the cracks, and I can't have that.
Yeah.
I cannot
we call
that.
that owner centricity.
Okay.
It's an owner centricity issue that answering the phones. I mean, there's an element of quality control
Yes.
that
you're going to get
by talking to everyone.
You know.
However, that also limits what the business can do because the owner can't be making decisions.
We never stopped growing.
Yeah.
We grew every month.
Yeah.
We never, even in COVID, we grew every month.
Well, what I was saying is there's a cost to that, and that's you.
It was hard on me. Yeah. I didn't realize how tough it was on me until I stopped doing it. I went, man, I should have done this 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But what it took me, I finally found a girl that answered the phone and sounded like I wanted her to sound.
Yep.
Yep.
And talked how I wanted her to talk. Took me 2 years and did what I said. I said, if you don't know the answer to the question, who do you call? Well, you. That's all you got to know. Take care of the customer, and we'll go from there. That's all we got to do is take care of the customer. So that last 2 years, I've had a great time. I mean, the last 2 years was a bunch of fun. Yeah. I could go on vacation.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because I went 12 years without a vacation also.
4 years without a paycheck. 12 years without a vacation.
And when you say no vacation, that means I may have showed up at the beach while my family was there, but this was in my hand.
You were on the phone.
I was on the phone. I'm sitting on the beach making castles in the sand, talking on the phone with my daughters.
Sure.
So, that's not a vacation.
Right.
So then it came time where I could actually take a vacation. It was, it was a lot of fun.
So one stat that we always like to share, we thought it was pretty shocking. 74% of all business owners who sell their business regret selling after a year. And some of that's monetary, right? But some of it is just they are so invested in the business itself and being known as a business owner that when they step away, they lose identity. And so it sounds like for you, like one, you've succeeded in exiting and you're really happy with it. Talk a little bit about how you were able to make that transition. I would say my situation is a little different because I had a partner. Yeah,
okay?
Sure.
When you want to, let me just put it this way. If I'd have known that all I needed was somebody with a CDL license, would have been a whole different ballgame. Okay?
Yeah.
Would have been a whole different ballgame. Because I'd have went and just got me a driver, done it myself.
Right.
And done it myself. But that's not the way it worked. It worked out how it did, and, been very blessed. But here's what got me. Answer your question about how did it make me feel. Okay, we closed on April 30th, and I got 90% of my money. Okay, I got to wait 90 days before I get a 90-day transition period of time, and I get my other 10%.
Right.
So after about 30 days of them having the company, I remember going up to the lot, we'll call it the lot of the shop or the office, whatever you want to call it. Things were different. They didn't need to talk to me anymore. Really? Okay. They were going to do this way. They're going to do that way. Okay. Not a problem. You got 90% say so at this point. Have at it. And when I saw that the people that I had hired and 90% of the people that I hired are still there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Almost 100% of the people that I didn't hire, that the other half are gone. Yeah. Never made it.
Yeah.
So, but as far as do I miss it now I'm having a hard time not doing anything, okay? But the last 90 days I've been on call, and June 10th, when they did their first billing, my phone melted in 2.5 hours. Because they double billed people. They didn't put the right name on the bill. They put their subsidiary name instead of Meridian Waste. People didn't know where this was coming from. Finally, I just pulled off the road into a parking lot, cut the truck off, and sat down and made notes and just putting people on hold and going back and forth and handling this and doing that and doing this and doing that. But as that transitioned, and I went to a lot of my customers been with me for years before, when we took the first amount of money on April 30th, in May, I went to a lot of my customers and said, hey, this is what I'm doing. And a lot of them have their own companies and businesses. They were happy for me.
Yeah, they get it.
Yeah, they get it. They understood.
Yeah.
I mean, I had one good friend of mine. I mean, if I had his money, I could throw mine away. And he was like,
what a line.
so I'm just telling you. And he's like, I'm surprised it took you this long, And but a lot of them too. I went to a lot of people that were good to me. I took them contracts. I said, sign this. I can protect you for 2 years. I said, your bill's not going to change for 2 years. I don't care what happens. So the people that was always paid on time, if they had a problem, they called me. I fixed it. There was no argument. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
So even on your way out,
Yes.
you're still taking care of the customer.
Oh, yeah. I was playing golf yesterday, and the phone rings. And it's a guy I've known for years. He goes, are you still going to be able to get me that roll-off? I said, sit tight. I got you covered, like I told you I would. And I said, I'm going to have a lady call you. You're going to have to give her your Social Security. You're going to have to give her your credit card number, but I'm going to tell her I've locked your price in. This is the last time I can help you. No problem. And my buddy I'm playing golf, and he goes, I thought you've retired. I thought you sold another dumpster right here while we're playing golf? Like I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But, but I told him I would.
Yeah.
What time he needs it or whether I'm doing anything, that's irrelevant.
Right.
Because I told him I would.
Yeah. Your word doesn't expire.
Yeah. Well, like my father said, you ain't got to put my name on a tombstone or a date. Just put here lies a man that kept his word.
Yeah. How'd you tell your team, Gordon?
Do what now?
How did you tell your team that you were selling the business?
I pulled the most loyal ones to me, took them to lunch. I said, here's the deal. I need you to stay. This is what I'm doing. And a lot of them that know me and knew the relationship with the partner, they understood a lot of things. The icing on the cake, I didn't want to just bring, I'm not going to say any names, but the partner lost an account that I've had for 19 years. Mm-hmm. Okay? They went back to Republic because he didn't do what he said he was going to do. I didn't know anything about it because I wasn't answering the phone. It got past me. They got it past me. And he told him he'd be out there to take care of it. Didn't show up for 2 weeks. Can't do that. That was the icing on the cake for me also. I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the most loyal, they're still there. When they call me from time to time, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I talk to them. I'm not, we've been together a long time. What can I do here? What can I do there? The ones that that I hired, and those are our best drivers and our best employees. So I'm going to miss them. They miss me. Everybody. There was the partner used to tell people, you got to watch Gordon. He's tough to work for. No, he's not. Do your job. He's the best man in the country to work for. You don't do your job, you're going to see a different side of him.
Yeah, you're going to have some problems.
And you're only going to do that 2 or 3 times. He's going to run out of sides for you to see. So, and you ain't going to be working here.
Yeah.
I had a way of doing business that evidently worked.
Yeah.
So,
what are some things? And we've talked about this partnership and whatever. What are some other things that you would do, or you would do differently?
He was big, and he was supposed to be over operations, which he really never was. I was constantly putting out fires or taking care of employees that get, I had several of them all the time was going to leave because of him. But he was supposed to over operations, and he was into buying beat-up, old, used dumpsters and refurbishing them, which in the beginning, that was okay.
Sure.
But I kept
you were
telling
getting
him,
a deal on them.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Get them for a third.
Right.
And put $100, $150 in them, and they work.
Yeah.
Right.
If we had to put $250 to put bottoms in, which is the most expensive thing to a dumpster, is put a new bottom in it. So what? Yeah, but it came a time to where there's many times I didn't have dumpsters that I sold. He didn't have stuff ready. So there was a time that came and I said, we've got to stop doing this. This is time consuming, material and labor. By the time you get to it now, you're saving 10%. 10% is not enough. We were saving 50 to 70% doing it ourselves. 10% is not enough. Get the new ones on a truck and get them here, and fire everybody that's in here working on stuff, and get this labor off my payroll. Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I ran the numbers. Numbers don't lie. Only people do. It's that simple. 2 and 2 is always going to be 4. That's never going to change. So, I mean, but it just, and I just got tired of, arguing. So the last 4 or 5 years, I didn't say nothing. As long as you don't cost the company a whole bunch of money, I'm going to leave you alone. But just do what you're supposed to do. That's all I ask of you.
Yeah.
And, but it's just, I didn't listen to my daddy.
I love that when you started the company refurbishing those dumpsters, you had more time than money.
Yes,
right? You had more
big
time
time.
than money.
Exactly.
And then as you grew and as you scaled,
And your relationships, your network grew. You had way more opportunity, not enough time.
right?
Correct.
And so that piece of the business, while it helped you early on, it felt time it was better just to buy the dumpsters new, and it really increased the amount of time that you had.
Okay. If you have a brand new car that's $45,000, or let's just say 50, and that car is now 14 years old, and it's 3,500, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's pretty much a piece of junk now, isn't it?
Right.
Because it went from 50 to 35. He went out and bought a garbage truck for $10,000. Now, if a garbage truck is $300,000 brand new, and you bought one that's $10,000, explain this to me.
Yeah.
How does this work?
Yeah.
And he did it when we didn't have the money. He thought he was. I told him not to. I said, that's a boat anchor. We can't even drive it. We can listen to it run, and that's it.
That's a $290,000 problem.
Exactly. I just didn't let it get to $290,000. After he dumped $60,000 in it, I stopped it. Well, let me tell you how I stopped it. He decided one time, without unbeknownst to me, that he was going to save money by moving maintenance schedules around. No. The doctor, our top mechanic, that's what we called him.
The doc.
The doc. Because,
so good.
well, I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
You can work on a diesel engine. Fixing a garbage truck's a whole nother animal.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing with hydraulics and air and electrical.
Yeah.
He was the doctor. When the doctor says 300 hours, that's it. That's what you do. Not 250, not 350. 300 hours of running, get it in to have it serviced. Every time, period. He got him past 400 and he locked up 3 engines in 1 month in my fleet. Have you ever heard of anybody locking up 3 engines in a company? I never have. I called several garbage companies within a 500-mile radius of me. Do what now?
How many engines? How many trucks did you have at that point?
6.
Wow. So
So they're
half.
50% down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how long would it
Or
get
maybe
them-
7 or 8 at best.
Okay.
Still.
And- but how long? So if they're down, how long? How long does it get you to?
Well, he got started on it immediately, so I had one up in 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
I had
Yeah, but 3 weeks is. That's
I got 3 weeks of 3 trucks running double routes. Drivers not happy about that either. And I kept telling them, now look what you've done to us. They can't drive more than 13 and a half hours a day. We got guys out 14, 15, 16 hours. If somebody hits them, we're done. And they find out how long its log sheet is. That's the DOT. There's a reason for all this.
right.
There's a reason for all these rules. But we got, and that truck that he bought for $10,000, I said, well, we didn't fix that engine. I went and bought another garbage truck.
Yeah.
And got a great deal. I went and bought a beautiful $85,000. Got a truck that I could test drive.
Yeah.
And then I found out that the mechanic, I said, didn't you look? He goes, no, it was towed to me. I never got a chance to look at it and approve it. I just chose my battles.
Yeah.
So
I've got one more question. I know, Steve, you've got one more, and then more if you have it. But for me, like, take yourself back to 2010, 2012, 2014. Somebody else now that's in your shoes that you were in back then. Like, what are the best 1 or 2 biggest pieces of advice you could give somebody who's building a business to eventually exit it? even if they're not thinking about the exit at this point in time. They're just
'cause
thinking about.
I never thought about
Yeah,
the exit
exactly.
until the offer came to the table.
Right.
To be honest with you,
Right.
I never thought they were going to offer me that. I didn't see that coming, and I've got pretty good foresight. I just didn't see it coming. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
They wanted it bad.
Yeah.
Because we did have, but they did tell me.
Yeah.
You've got the best profit margin on any garbage company we've ever seen.
Yeah.
So
We would argue that a valuable business is an efficient business, right? I mean,
guess
nobody wants to buy a business that's terribly run, right? Unless it's some sort of rehab project, and you're not going to get good value for that. So really, building a valuable business is just building an extremely efficient, profitable business. So what are 2 or 3 things you would tell somebody? Imagine one of them is just do what you say.
yeah, I mean, and timing, good luck.
Yeah.
You've heard the expression, I'd rather be lucky than good. And hard work. Like I had a driver one time, I get a brand new truck every 8 years, okay? Because I'm a General Motors guy, I got a card, I get 0% interest. So I buy a truck and I make payments on it for 4 years. And it's paid off. In the next 4 years, I make that same payment to a savings account. Mm-hmm. So if I ever have to pay cash for one, I can. And I remember one of my young drivers came out one day when I pulled up in my new truck, and they went, well, what do you got to do around here to get one of them? And of course, I didn't miss a beat. I said, outwork everybody else like I did. Outwork them all.
Yeah.
When I was with Expert Tune, we were cleanliness. They're not going to bring cars to a shop that's crap, okay? And as a manager, I out-cleaned all the people that worked for me. I took care of the weight room. I took care of the public bathroom. The mechanics had to keep their floors clean. They all alternated who cleaned their bathroom. I just outworked everybody, and they had respect for me. So they would do anything in the world for me.
Yeah.
And like my drivers. Well, one driver says, I remember a new driver started running his mouth about, because I'd gotten on to him. I said, whatever it was about. And one of my drivers been with me for years. He goes, be careful. Don't you talk about Mr. Almand like that around me. Says, I'm going to tell you right now, don't do it. Because you're going to have a bad day. Because that's the only man that does what he says when he says. And if he told you something, you didn't like it, tough.
It's our truth.
So it's just that simple. Advice, a lot of things we've said. Priorities. I think 90% of the people's priorities, especially young, their priorities are not right.
Describe that.
Okay. I had a route manager. He made a statement one time that he was going to start this other business. Okay. I think that's great. I wish you all the luck in the world. I hope it works out for you. Just let me know if you're leaving. I'll take care of everything from there. Oh no, I could probably do this, and that's okay. They said, I'm gonna do pressure washing. I said, so you're gonna start a pressure washing business? I said, so what are your priorities? Is it money? Oh no. My family comes first. No, that ain't what comes first if you want to make it. God comes first. Your job comes second. Your family comes third. Period. Because I believe if you don't have the first one, you're never going to do the right thing. And if you don't have the second one, you're not going to keep the third. Because this is a known fact. If poverty comes walking through the front door, love goes hauling ass out the back. And that's a fact. Why it's the biggest thing that causes divorce these days. It's not infidelity.
Financial.
It's finances.
Yeah.
Not enough money. So
You got to be able to provide.
If you can't provide, you're not going to keep them. So they can't be second.
Yeah.
They have to come third.
They got to eat. They got to sleep.
They got to.
Yep.
And you got to do it.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. That's, to me, that's where it's at. That's the big thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, because I how much longer you want to talk? I took over this. My wife's Catholic and I'm Baptist, and I was tithing to the Catholic Church and going to the church, la-da-da-da-da-da. And I had my dumpster. Then the church calls me. So I go and see him. I sit down with the priest that baptized my kids and his office manager. And they had called and asked me for a quote. So I carry the quote and I walk in and she goes, hey, let me show you this bill. Let me show you what we're paying. I said, stop. Don't show me what you're paying. You asked me for a quote first. Here's my price first. Let's go from there. I cut their price in half from what they were paying, okay? And I was tithing to the church, and they end up going with another competitor. And my tithing at the church paid their garbage bill of what they were paying 5 times over in a year, okay? So I went, that insulted me, and I can't be insulted. I'm a tough person to insult. I said, are you kidding me? And this is the part about Jesus. That afternoon, the phone rings. And he says, Gordon, this is Don Kraft. You remember talking to me? I said, yes, sir, I do. I said, you have the church down on North Parkway? Yes, sir. He said, I got rid of Waste Management. Can you honor what you told me? Yes, sir. I said, when do you want it? Bring it on. And then I got to know him, an old country preacher is what I call him. He's just an old country boy. Him and his son were rodeo bronc-busters and I'm talking about
The real deal.
just very well. I mean, high ranking. He's 70-something today.
Wow.
Okay. So, and he's getting married. He's getting married next month. I'm going to be his best man. But got to sitting and talking to him, and I was telling him about the tithing with the Catholic Church and what I was doing here and what I was doing there, and I started getting educated. And I said, this is what I can do. And he said, don't worry, the good Lord lets you know when you need to up it. He said, because it's never going down. Jesus ain't taking a pay cut, son. That means you ain't either. And he said, when it comes to tithing, nobody said you had to like it, just said you had to do it. And tithing keeps Satan out of your house. So since I've met him, I don't want him in my house no more. So, because we've met.
Yeah.
And, but.
He's not a great roommate, is he?
No.
Huh?
He's not a great roommate.
We weren't roommates. I didn't get a chance to say much. I'll tell you that story after we cut this off. But anyway, I learned about tithing. And when I started tithing with that church, and a lot of people don't know that there's tithing, there's first fruit, there's alms, and there's seed. Does anybody know what first fruit is? First fruit is you get a $500 a month raise. You give that $500 to the church.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay? You was living without it before. That shows God that you're not interested in money.
Okay, so
Money's not
first fruits.
Is first fruit.
Yeah.
We already discussed tithing. You got first fruit. Tithing is 6-1. First fruit, it shows you don't have to do it. Then there's alms, which is giving to the poor. That pays back one time. If you give $1, you get $1. And then there's seed. You plant your seed. You bring your offerings so many times a year. And thy seed started growing faster than I could handle. Like, Lord, slow down on the grace. I never thought I'd say that out loud. Slow down. I'm trying to keep up with this. My company started going, and I was trying to keep the growth with the money, and then all of a sudden, didn't have to worry about the money anymore.
That's good.
Banks are standing in line, and we've been with one bank since we started. They started us, and I mean, I've had banks hit me up and down.
I'm sure.
No. They did what they said they were going to do. When they said they were going to do it, I got a buddy of mine that's a banker. Can't help you. Love you to death. But until they change, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Let me be upfront about everything. No, I'm not changing. It's just that simple. And I think probably one of the last things I would have to say as far as Jesus goes, I remember one time I was telling the preacher, I said, this morning I got up and this voice said, give so-and-so your alms at the church. A lady that works at the church. And it said, give $2,500. But I have to give that to the preacher. You can't give that to them yourself because that takes their disgrace. You don't want to, people that need alms are not asking for something.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
People that need
Yeah.
alms helps the poor. And you don't deface them by here, I did this for you.
Right.
No, I gave it to the preacher and I told him. I said, as clear as me sitting here talking to you, I heard this voice this morning that says, give so-and-so, I'm not going to say her name, $2,500 for my alms this year. And he looks at me and goes, well, when you get a little closer to Jesus, it's a lot easier to hear him. Okay? And I asked him later on, I said, did you give it? He said, oh, yeah. He said, and I said, I'm just wondering, why did he say $2,500? Are you ready for this? Their dryer washing machine broke down. It's going to be $1,100 to replace it. And their car broke down. It's going to be $1,400 to fix it.
Huh.
You can't make that up.
Can you do that math, Steve?
You cannot make that up.
You don't have to carry one there. That's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't make that up.
Yeah. That's cool.
And then somewhere shortly after that, I won $2,500 doing something. Don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
So,
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. Gordon, this has been awesome. Thank
I hope
you so
so
much.
Hope I haven't talked too much.
No. This is great. We always we've got a fun little question for you to end on.
Okay,
So,
cool.
If you only had one choice of ice cream for the rest of your life, one flavor, what would it be?
Haagen-Dazs chocolate.
Haagen-Dazs chocolate. We've had a Haagen-Dazs vanilla.
Well, yeah, we did.
Yeah, Haagen-Dazs chocolate. Why?
It's the best chocolate ice cream there is. Is there any better? No.
Haagen-Dazs
To me, there's not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And if I eat vanilla, I want peaches over the cross top or strawberries.
Yeah.
So
But chocolate, you don't need anything
That's a
else.
good man. Good man.
Yeah.
Haagen-Dazs chocolate.
That's great.
That would be my
Yeah.
if I was going to. Now, let me ask you a question. If you were on a deserted island for the rest of your life and you could only have one sandwich, what would it be?
Ooh.
I have my answer. You can let me know if you want to hear it.
Yeah.
My wife's meatloaf sandwich.
Meatloaf
Meatloaf.
sandwich.
Sandwich.
You never had a meatloaf sandwich?
I have not.
What?
I'm from Arkansas,
I
not
need
Alabama.
to hear more. How's
that
this
sounds
structured?
too complex.
Oh, no, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to make them some, Barry. I'm just going to bring them some. That's what I'm going to do.
We would love that.
Yeah. we
Yes, you
love
would.
that.
You like meatloaf?
Yes.
It's the only time I eat meatloaf without mashed potatoes is when it's in a sandwich.
Okay.
That's great.
Yep.
That's great.
So
Yeah. Gordon, thank you so much. This has
it's been great. I've enjoyed this.
Yeah. Thanks, Jordan.
Awesome. Thank you.